Hello, my name is Carol Jensen. My colleagues and I represent the Leagues of Women Voters of San Mateo County. Today, I'll be presenting the pros and cons of State Ballot Measure 25. This is actually a referendum on a law that replaced cash bail with a system based on public safety and flight risk. It's a special kind of ballot measure asking voters whether to approve or reject a law passed by the legislature. In this case, it is the fate of a 2018 law abolishing cash bail in California. Companies and the Political Action Committee representing the bail industry quickly gathered signatures for this referendum after Senate Bill 10 was signed into law. As a result, SB 10 has been on hold and is awaiting a final decision by voters. The state constitution currently mandates that people arrested and sent to county jail have the right to release before trial, except for those charged with certain felony crimes. They may be released under their own recognizance when risk has been determined to be low, and they can be released by paying bail. 2 years ago, Senate Bill 10 was passed calling for the elimination of cash bail and changing the process for release from jail before trial. The day after, Governor Jerry Brown signed SB 10. This veto referendum, Prop 25, was filed to overturn that bill. Now, this referendum recites SB 10 in its entirety, and Prop 25, in the form of a citizen-initiated measure, asks voters to approve SB 10. On the one hand, you have a law set to be enacted, passed 2 years ago in the state legislature. On the other hand, you have bail bonds companies who put this referendum on the ballot, actually hoping it will be defeated in order to protect the cash bail system and its industry. So, Prop 25 would eliminate release from county jail on bail. It would eliminate the release of most misdemeanor prisoners after 12 hours in jail. Instead of cash bail, SB 10 calls for risk assessments to determine which people charged with felonies and some misdemeanors can be safely released. Those considered high risk, charged with violent crimes such as murder or arson, would be detained in jail until arraignment. State trial courts would be responsible for performing these risk assessments. Here's a look at the fiscal impact. There would be increased state and local pretrial costs in the mid-hundreds of millions of dollars annually. There would be decreased county jail costs, competing effects on state and local taxes. The total impact, however, here is unknown, but there would be a loss of taxes on bail bond fees. And on the other hand, increased spending by those who have been released and who no longer have to pay bail bonds. As for arguments in favor of Prop 25, proponents who are in favor of enacting SB 10 say bail money is unfair, dangerous, and costly. Bail favors the rich who can afford to buy their freedom while they await trial, while those without wealth must stay in jail because they simply don't have the means to pay cash bail. Under this system, supporters of Prop 25 say dangerous criminals can be back on the streets once they're out on bail. Those jailed for misdemeanors would be released right away, decreasing the county jail population. Now, opponents who actually put Prop 25 on the ballot are hoping it will be defeated, therefore eliminating SB 10. They do, however, agree with supporters, also calling Prop 25 unfair, dangerous, and costly, but for different reasons. They argue that it eliminates the right to bail, that a risk assessment program is actually a computer-based algorithm which can lead to profiling and could be biased against minorities and the poor. It would be very costly, calling for the creation of a new bureaucratic network within the state court system. Speaking of costs, here's a look at financial support. Supporters have raised at least $8.3 million. This money coming from an organization called End Predatory and Unfair Money Bail. Also, various federal and state Democratic legislators and unions have contributed. Opponents have raised at least $5.4 million in an effort to defeat Proposition 25, which again would defeat SB 10. A political action committee called Californians Against the Reckless Bail Scheme, plus bail bond companies and insurance firms, many of which own bail businesses, have all contributed to this total. So to review, a yes vote on Proposition 25 would uphold Senate Bill 10, legislation which was passed 2 years ago, but immediately contested in the form of a referendum. And again, a yes vote on this measure means cash bail would be replaced with risk assessments for detained suspects in county jail who are awaiting trial. A no vote seeks to repeal SB 10, keeping in place the cash bail system for those in county jail, hoping to be released while they wait to stand trial. And that's a look at the pros and cons for Proposition 25.